Hello students, today we will discuss a new chapter. The name of the chapter is Units and Measurements. Before going to explain units and measurements, we come across few concepts, few definitions. One of the definition is what is physical quantity. Physical quantity can we define a quantity which can be measured and is used to describe the laws of physics. A quantity which can be measured and are used to describe the laws of physics is called a physical quantity. For example we can give mass, length, time, speed, etc. So anything which can be measured and is used to describe the laws of physics is called a physical quantity. Now, second is measurement process, how we measure the things. In order to measure the things, we essentially compare the physical quantity with a standard. The quantity, the physical quantity to be measured is basically compared with a standard, and that standard is internationally accepted. The standard which is used to comparison should be internationally acceptable and has the same nature as that of the quantity to be measured. So we can define the process of measurement as the process of measurement is essentially a comparison process. That is, a physical quantity to be measured is compared with a standard quantity which is internationally acceptable and has the same nature as that of physical quantity to be measured. This standard is called as unit. The standard which is used for comparison is called a unit. Thus, a unit is a physical quantity with which a physical quantity is compared for measurement. So, simply we can say measurement process is a comparison process. A standard is chosen to compare the physical quantity, and that standard should internationally acceptable, and that standard is called unit. So this is about physical quantity and the measurement process. Now, in order to measure a given physical quantity, we need two things. We require two things to measure a physical quantity. One quantity is unit and second quantity is numerical value. That means when we talk of any physical quantity, we express it in its units. So a unit is a standard. So a physical quantity has a numerical value and a unit. How? Let us explain it. Now, to describe or to measure a physical quantity, we need two things. We require two things to measure a physical quantity. One quantity is unit and other quantity is numerical value. So, unit, it is represented by U, in which the physical quantity is expressed, is 1. Second is numerical value, N, which signifies how much times the given unit is contained in a given physical quantity. So we can write a physical quantity is equal to numerical value into unit. Or if a physical quantity is represented by x, so we can write x is equal to n represents the numerical value, and u represents the unit. So which is the two essential things which is used for measurement? One is physical quantity, one is unit, and second is numerical value. So we can use to measurement these two quantities. So let us take an example how two things are required in a physical quantity to measure for measurement process. Let us consider a rod of length 4 meter. 4 is the numerical value and meter is the unit. That means the length of given rod when it is compared with a standard, that standard is meter, and it contains 4 times the standard. It contains the 4 times the standard. We can choose another unit system and we can write this length of rod is equal to 400 centimeter. Length of rod is equal to 400 centimeter. It means numerical value changes. Here the numerical value in one system is 4 and in other system it is 400. So, but the unit is smaller. So once we use the smaller units, numerical value becomes larger. And or vice versa. That means if we use bigger units for a given physical quantity, its numerical value will be small. Or when we use smaller units to measure a physical quantity, its numerical value will become large. So we can have smaller the unit, larger will be its numerical value, and vice versa. To show this, if n1 is numerical value of a physical quantity x and u1 be its unit, therefore we can write the given physical quantity x is equal to n1 u1. Name this first. Similarly, we can write n2. If n2 is the numerical value of a given physical quantity and u2 its unit, then we can write x is equal to n2 u2. So when we compare them, when we measure the physical quantity, when we compare the two unit systems, when we express a given physical quantity in two unit systems, we have taken n1 u1 is equal to n2 u2. n1 and u1 is the numerical value and unit in one system, and n2 u2 is the numerical value and the unit in other system. So we can write nu is equal to constant. That means the product always remains constant. Number and the unit always, its product always remains constant. Although individually they can change, unit can become large and number can become small or vice versa, but the product always remains constant. So we can write nu is constant, or we can write n inversely proportional to u. We can take example here. Example is the mass of block is 6 kg. In one unit system, the mass of block is 6 kg. What will be the mass? What will be its mass in another unit system? And that unit system is gram, CGS unit system. And is the numerical value associated with gram greater than the numerical value associated with kg? I will repeat the question. The question is the mass of a block is 6 kg. What will be its value in grams? Is the numerical value associated with gram greater than the numerical value associated with kg? And why? So we can have mass is equal to 6 kg. That means in one system, the numerical value is 6 and unit is kg. And we can write it in another unit system. 6 kg is equal to 6,000 grams. In 1 kg there are 1,000 grams, and in 6 kg we can write it is 6,000 grams. So here in grams the numerical value is increased. The numerical value is greater as compared to kg. So it is because n directly proportional to u. In gram, u is smaller. Consequently, n is greater. So that is how the numerical value is greater in gram as compared to kg. So this was example, and this was about the how we measure a physical quantity. And two things require, the two things may vary from one another, but the product always remains constant. So now we can have the characteristics of a standard unit. Means what qualities or what characteristics should be in a standard unit so that it can be chosen as a standard unit. So we have few characteristics of this standard unit. One characteristic is its value must not change with time. The value of the given standard should not change with time. It should always remain constant, irrespective of the weather conditions or the temperature or the physical conditions. It always must remain constant. It should be independent on the all physical conditions and chemical conditions. Second is, it should be imperishable. Imperishable means it should not destroy with time. It should remain same for every time. Is another characteristic. And third characteristic is it must be easily reproducible. Whenever we require it, it should be accessible to us, or it should be reproducible. We can have another standard of the same quantity. It should be easily accessible and it should be easily reproducible. Fourth is, it should be of proper size. Its size should be proper. It should be not too small, not too large. It should be of proper size to the with the comparison, the physical quantity to be measured. The physical quantity to be measured, the standard with which the physical quantity is compared or measured, the standard should be of proper size. It should be of proper size. Say for example, we cannot use a meter scale to measure the distance between the earth and the sun. It is not the convenient. So it should be of proper size. These are some characteristics. One characteristic, we can again repeat these characteristics. One characteristic, its value must not change with time. Second, it should be of imperishable. That means it does not destroy with time. Third is, it must be easily reproducible or whenever required or accessible. Third, it should be of proper size, neither too large nor too small in comparison with the physical quantity to be measured. So these are about the characteristics of a physical quantity. Now we will discuss the fundamental and derived units. Now we will come across fundamental and derived units. What fundamental units are and what derived units are? First we will talk of fundamental units. Fundamental units in mechanics, we talk of mechanics. There are three fundamental quantities. One quantity is mass, second is length, and third is time. So these three quantities are called fundamental quantities, and their units are called fundamental units. So we can have, in mechanics there are three physical quantities, namely mass, length, time. Mass, length, and time. Mass, length, and time, which are called fundamental quantities, and their units are called fundamental units or base units. They are called fundamental because they are independent on each other. The unit of mass does not depend on the unit of length. Or we can say mass does not depend on length or time. For example, we can have example here. If we have two rods having the same length, but one is thin and second is thick. Consequently, the thick rod has more mass as compared to the thin rod. So, although the length is same, but the mass is different. So, we can have these are independent. That is why they are called fundamental units. They are fundamental quantities or fundamental units. They are independent on each other. And their units are called fundamental units. Moreover, while discussing the other branches of the physics, we come across different physical quantities again, like we have temperature, luminous intensity, electric current, amount of substance, which are also fundamental, and their units are also fundamental. So, fundamental quantities are nothing but they are the fundamental, thus fundamental quantities are nothing. These are the quantities which are independent on each other. And in mechanics, there are three fundamental quantities. As you know, these are mass, length, and time. And while discussing the other branches of physics, we come across other physical quantities such as temperature, luminous intensity, electric current, amount of substance, which are also called fundamental quantities, and their units are called fundamental units. Now we have derived units. Derived units are those units which can be derived from these fundamental quantities. Derived units are those units, or derived physical quantities are those physical quantities which can be derived from these fundamental quantities. For example, speed, velocity, acceleration, momentum, these are all derived physical quantities. So we can write derived physical quantities as derived physical quantities are those physical quantities which can be derived from the fundamental physical quantities. For example, we have speed. Speed is derived as distance upon time. You know, distance is length and time is same. So we can have length by time, we can get speed. Speed is a derived physical quantity, and its unit is meter per second. That means the unit of length is meter, and the unit of time is second. Similarly, we have another derived physical quantity, acceleration. Acceleration is velocity upon time. The unit of velocity is meter per second, and the unit of time is second. So we can have meter per second square. These units are derived units, and these physical quantities are derived physical quantities. Now we come across the system of fundamental units. And the system of fundamental, we have basically three systems of fundamental units. One system is CGS system. It stands for centimeter gram second. C stands for centimeter, G stands for gram, and S stands for time. So in this unit system, the physical quantities of length, mass, and time are measured by means of centimeter. Length is measured in centimeters, mass is measured in kilograms, and time is measured in seconds. But the limitation of this unit system is that the derived units are too small, so they are very less practical use. So it has very less practical use. So its units are too small when we derive the units from these units. So that's why it was discarded. That's why this system is little bit less in practical use. Now second is FPS system. It is also called British system of engineering or British engineering system. FPS means foot, pound and FPS, foot, pound and second. That means the given physical quantities, mass, length and time, they are measured in, length is measured in foot, mass is measured in pounds and time is measured in seconds. So this unit is also discarded. This is discarded because here an inconvenience arises when we convert it from one system into another system, or when a given physical quantity is changed from one system of units to another, and inconvenience occurs. So that is why this system of units was discarded later. After that we have another unit system. That unit system is called MK system. MK system is that unit system in which M stands for mass, K stands for kilogram, M stands for meter, K stands for kilogram and S stands for second. So we can have in this unit system, length is measured in meters, mass is measured in kilograms and time is measured in seconds. So when we see all the three system of units, one quantity is same in all the three units, that is time. In CGS system, the unit of time is second. In FPS system, the unit of time is second. And in MK system, the unit of time is second. So we will go for MK system. Now MK system. In MK system, the units are the three fundamental quantities are used. They are measured in meters. Length is measured in meters, mass is measured in kilogram and time is measured in second. But this unit system has also a limitation. That limitation is it is only used for mechanics. So that limitation comes while dealing with this MKS system. So another unit system was developed and that unit system is called SI unit system. That is the modified form of this MK system, and in this SI system of units, it was developed in America, and this system contains 7 fundamental quantities and 2 supplementary physical quantities. So the fundamental quantities of this SI system are: one is length, mass, time. These three are derived, these three are from the MK system. And fourth is temperature, luminous intensity, electric current and amount of substance. These are the 7 physical quantities in SI system, and 2 supplementary quantities are: one is plane angle. Plane angle, its unit is radian, and second is solid angle, its unit is T radian. So we will go to discuss SI system. This is about SI system. So SI system, its full name is Steam System International D Units. So it is abbreviated as SI system. It is the modified form of MKS system. So it is also called a rationalized unit system or rationalized MKS system. In this system there are 7 fundamental quantities and 2 supplementary quantities. The 7 fundamental quantities in this system are mass, its unit is kilogram and symbol is kg. Length, its unit is meter and symbol is m. Time, its unit is second and its symbol is S. Temperature, its unit is Kelvin and symbol is K. Its fifth, luminous intensity, its unit is candela and symbol is CD. Electric current, its unit is ampere and symbol is A. Amount of substance, its unit is mole and symbol is mole, MOL. So this is about this SI system and fundamental quantities. Now supplementary quantities in this SI system. So there are 2 supplementary units in SI system. One is plane angle. One physical quantity is plane angle and its unit is radian and it is denoted by rad or AD. Second is solid angle. Its unit is T radian and its symbol is SR. So what is plane angle? Plane angle is simply defined as the arc divided by radius. That means the arc subtended by a radius vector of a circle divided by its radius gives us the plane angle. So we can write plane angle is equal to arc divided by radius. So radian, how we can define radian? Radian is equal to arc divided by radius, and when the arc described by the radius vector is equal to the radius of the circle, then we call that angle is equal to 1 radian. So 1 radian is equal to the arc which is equal to the radius of the circle divided by its radius. So we call it 1 radius. So 1 radian. So plane angle we can write here, theta is equal to L by R. So theta is angle between these 2 radial vectors, and L is the arc described by this radius vector, and so we can write theta is equal to L by R. When this L is equal to R, so this angle is equal to 1 radian. So this is about plane angle. Now solid angle. What is solid angle? Solid angle is the angle subtended by a sphere at its center, subtended by a part of a sphere at its center. For example, if we consider a sphere like a football, and if we consider one of its piece, and we join the periphery of the piece to the center of the sphere, and we get a solid angle like that. We get a solid angle like that. If we have this is a piece of this surface area of the football, and this is its center. So when we join the periphery, of this piece of So when we join the periphery of this piece to the center by means of radial vectors, we get here an angle, and this angle is called solid angle. Solid angle is also defined as the summation of plane angles. So it is equal to area of this element of which the angle is subtended at its center and the square of the radius of the sphere. So this is about solid angle. So this was about all today's units and measurements. So you have seen how we can measure a physical quantity and what are the essential requirements of a physical quantity. After that, we have discussed derived and fundamental and derived physical quantities and their units. And you have seen how different units are obtained in different unit systems. And derived physical quantities, you have seen these are derived from fundamental quantities. And also you have seen the system of units. One system you have seen CGS system, MK system, FPS system, and at last you have seen the very important unit system, that is SI system, that is of more practical use. And you have seen this in this SI system, it has 7 fundamental quantities and 2 supplementary quantities, and we have listed these fundamental quantities in SI system and their units.